Welcome back to the channel. If you care about aging well, protecting your heart, keeping your brain sharp, and staying strong on your feet, this one is especially for you. Today, we are tackling one of the most controversial and misunderstood foods in modern nutrition: the humble egg. Specifically, we are going to walk through day by day and system by system what the latest research shows happens inside your body when you eat 4 eggs every single day. Not 1, not 2, 4. Now, why does this matter so much after 60? Because your body at 63 or 71 is not the same machine it was at 40. Your muscles lose mass faster. Your bones thin quietly in the background. Your brain needs very specific nutrients to maintain memory and processing speed, and your immune system, well, it could use every advantage it can get. Eggs, it turns out, deliver on nearly all of those fronts. But there are also some real considerations, some genuine cautions that you need to hear. And I promise I will give you the full picture. No hype, no clickbait nonsense, just the science, explained simply. Let us get into it. To understand why eggs got such a terrible reputation, we need to rewind to 1961. That was the year a physiologist named Ancel Keys published research suggesting dietary cholesterol, the cholesterol you eat, directly raised blood cholesterol and caused heart disease. His work influenced the American Heart Association, which then told the entire country to limit egg consumption. The message spread through doctors' offices, government pamphlets, and dinner tables across the nation. Eggs became the villain, but here is where the story falls apart. Keys cherry-picked his data. He studied 22 countries, but only published results from the 7 that supported his theory. Later researchers discovered that when you included all 22, the correlation between dietary fat and heart disease practically evaporated. This is not conspiracy talk, by the way. This is documented nutritional history published in peer-reviewed journals. Fast forward to 2015. The Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, the group that shapes what the United States government recommends you eat, quietly removed its warning about dietary cholesterol. Their exact language said cholesterol was, quote, no longer a nutrient of concern for overconsumption. That was a seismic shift, and yet most people never heard about it. Many doctors never updated their advice either. So what does the current science say? When you eat cholesterol, like the roughly 740 milligrams you would get from 4 large eggs, your liver compensates. It produces less of its own cholesterol to balance the incoming supply. For approximately 70% of the population, eating cholesterol-rich foods has minimal impact on blood cholesterol levels. Your body self-regulates. It has been doing this long before nutrition labels existed. Now, about 30% of people are what researchers call hyperresponders. In these individuals, dietary cholesterol does raise blood levels somewhat, but even in hyperresponders, studies show both LDL and HDL tend to rise proportionally, and the LDL particles that increase are typically the large, buoyant kind, which are far less dangerous than the small, dense particles that actually penetrate artery walls. A massive meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal in 2020, covering nearly 2 million participants, found no significant association between moderate egg consumption and cardiovascular disease risk. Let me say that again for the folks in the back. 2 million participants and eggs did not increase heart disease risk. Does that mean eggs are completely harmless for everyone, regardless of quantity? No. We will talk about the exceptions shortly. But for the vast majority of adults over 60, the cholesterol fear was overblown. Dramatically overblown. Now let us talk about something that affects every single person watching this video: muscle loss. After the age of 30, you lose somewhere between 3 and 8% of your muscle mass per decade. After 60, that rate accelerates. The medical term is sarcopenia, which simply means your muscles shrink and weaken over time. Sarcopenia is directly linked to falls, fractures, loss of independence, and earlier mortality. It is one of the single greatest threats to quality of life in older adults. What do muscles need to maintain themselves? Protein. High-quality, complete protein that contains all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot manufacture on its own. 4 large eggs deliver roughly 24 grams of protein, and egg protein is considered the gold standard, literally. Scientists use egg protein as the reference point, scoring it 100 on the biological value scale, meaning your body absorbs and utilizes virtually all of it. Whey protein scores close, beef scores around 80, beans land around about 50, eggs sit at the top. For a 150-pound person over 60, current protein recommendations from geriatric researchers suggest at minimum 1 gram per kilogram of body weight daily, so around 68 grams. 4 eggs get you more than a third of the way there before you have even thought about lunch. But protein is only part of the picture. Each egg yolk contains roughly 41 international units of vitamin D. 4 eggs give you about 164 IUs. Now, that is not your full daily requirement. Most experts recommend 600 to 1,000 IUs after 60. But here's the thing. Very few whole foods naturally contain vitamin D at all. Eggs are one of the rare exceptions, and vitamin D is absolutely essential for calcium absorption, which keeps your bones from becoming brittle and fracture-prone. Eggs also provide phosphorus, another mineral your bones depend on, plus small but meaningful amounts of vitamin K2 in the yolk. Vitamin K2 directs calcium into your bones and teeth rather than letting it deposit in your arteries. Most Americans are deficient in K2 and have never even heard of it. So when you crack 4 eggs into a pan each morning, you are not just eating breakfast. You are feeding the scaffolding that keeps you upright, mobile, and independent. Many seniors ignore the early signs of muscle weakness, struggling to open jars, feeling unsteady on stairs, needing both arms to push out of a chair. These are signals. And protein-rich foods like eggs are part of the answer. Let us shift upstairs to your brain. If there is one nutrient that deserves a standing ovation for cognitive health, it is choline. And eggs are, by a wide margin, the richest common food source of choline available. 1 large egg yolk contains about 147 milligrams of choline. 4 eggs deliver roughly 588 milligrams, which actually meets or exceeds the daily adequate intake for most adults. That matters enormously because an estimated 90% of Americans do not get enough choline. 90%. Why should you care? Choline is the precursor to acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter directly involved in memory, focus, and the speed at which your brain processes information. Low acetylcholine levels are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. In fact, the most commonly prescribed Alzheimer's medications, drugs like donepezil, work specifically by preventing the breakdown of whatever acetylcholine your brain still produces. They are trying to preserve the very chemical that choline helps build. A 2019 study from the University of Eastern Finland followed over 2,500 men for 22 years and found that those with the highest choline intake had a significantly lower risk of dementia and performed better on cognitive tests. Another study, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, linked higher egg consumption to improved cognitive performance in middle-aged and older adults. Choline also supports the structural integrity of cell membranes throughout your brain and nervous system. Without adequate choline, those membranes become less flexible, communication between neurons slows down, and repair processes stall. Think about that for a moment. A nutrient that most seniors are not getting enough of, that directly supports memory and brain cell maintenance, that might help protect against dementia. And it is sitting right there in the bright orange center of an egg. The yolk, the very part you were told to throw away. Beyond choline, eggs provide lutein and zeaxanthin. Most people associate these carotenoids with eye health, and rightly so, we will get there. But emerging research shows they also accumulate in brain tissue and may reduce neuroinflammation. A 2017 study from the University of Illinois found that older adults with higher levels of lutein in their blood performed better on tests measuring crystallized intelligence, the type of knowledge and verbal ability you accumulate over a lifetime. 4 eggs a day, fueling your neurons, reinforcing your cell membranes, and potentially standing between you and cognitive decline. That is not a bad return on a food that costs roughly 50 cents a serving. Speaking of lutein and zeaxanthin, your eyes need these desperately after 60. Age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of vision loss in older Americans. It affects the macula, the central part of your retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision, the vision you use to read, recognize faces, and drive. Lutein and zeaxanthin are the only carotenoids that concentrate in the macula, where they act as a natural blue light filter and antioxidant shield. Egg yolks are one of the most bioavailable sources of both. The fat in the yolk actually enhances absorption, which means your body takes in more lutein from eggs than it does from spinach or kale, even though those vegetables contain higher raw amounts. Studies published in the Journal of Nutrition confirmed that eating eggs daily significantly raised blood levels of both lutein and zeaxanthin without raising LDL cholesterol, so eggs protect your vision. Noted. Now, your heart. We covered the cholesterol question already, but there is more good news here. Eggs raise HDL cholesterol, the protective kind. Multiple studies have shown that eating 2 to 3 eggs daily increases HDL by as much as 10%. Higher HDL is consistently associated with lower cardiovascular risk. Eggs also contain omega-3 fatty acids, particularly if you purchase eggs from pasture-raised hens. These omega-3 fats reduce triglycerides, lower blood pressure modestly, and reduce systemic inflammation. If you are over 60 or caring for an elderly loved one, this information could be life-saving. Please share this video with someone in your family who still thinks eggs are dangerous. They deserve to hear the updated science. Let us also address weight management, because it connects to everything else. Eggs are remarkably satiating. A study from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center found that participants who ate eggs for breakfast consumed on average 330 fewer calories over the following 24 hours compared to those who ate a bagel-based breakfast with equal calories. The combination of protein and healthy fats in eggs stabilizes blood sugar, reduces mid-morning cravings, and keeps you feeling full through lunch. For seniors managing type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, and roughly a third of Americans over 65 fall into one of those categories, blood sugar stability is not optional. It is foundational. 4 eggs in the morning create a slow, steady release of energy without the glucose spike that toast, cereal, or juice would cause. One more thing about the waistline. Eggs contain virtually 0 carbohydrates. 4 large eggs have less than 2 grams total. For anyone monitoring carbohydrate intake for blood sugar control or weight loss, eggs are about as clean a fuel source as you can find. Alright, I promised you the full picture and I meant it. Let us talk about who should approach 4 eggs a day with some caution. First, individuals with familial hypercholesterolemia. This is a genetic condition affecting roughly 1 in 250 people, where the body cannot clear LDL cholesterol efficiently regardless of diet. If you have been diagnosed with this condition, or if heart disease runs aggressively through your family despite healthy lifestyles, 4 eggs a day may not be appropriate without direct guidance from your cardiologist. That is a conversation worth having. Second, people with existing kidney disease. Eggs are high in phosphorus, and damaged kidneys struggle to filter excess phosphorus from the blood. Elevated phosphorus can leach calcium from bones and contribute to cardiovascular calcification. If your kidney function is compromised, talk to your nephrologist about how many eggs fit safely into your diet. Third, preparation matters more than people realize. 4 eggs scrambled in butter with a side of bacon and white toast is a different metabolic event than 4 eggs poached alongside sautéed spinach and sliced avocado. What you eat with your eggs shapes the overall impact on your blood sugar, inflammation levels, and cardiovascular markers. The eggs themselves are not the problem, but loading them into a plate of refined carbohydrates and processed meats undermines their benefits. Fourth, egg quality varies. Conventional eggs from caged hens fed grain-based feed contain fewer omega-3 fatty acids, less vitamin D, and lower concentrations of carotenoids compared to eggs from pasture-raised hens that forage on grass, insects, and worms. If your budget allows, pasture-raised or omega-3 enriched eggs deliver a meaningfully better nutrient profile. The shells even tend to be thicker, and the yolks run a deeper, almost sunset orange. And fifth, variety still matters. 4 eggs a day can absolutely be part of a healthy diet, but they should not be your only protein source. Rotating fatty fish like salmon for additional omega-3s, legumes for fiber, and lean poultry or Greek yogurt ensures you cover nutritional bases that eggs alone cannot. Let me give you some real-world ways to get 4 eggs into your day without it feeling monotonous. Breakfast is the obvious one. 2 eggs scrambled with a handful of cherry tomatoes, some fresh herbs, and a sprinkle of feta cheese, cooked in olive oil or a small pat of butter. That takes about 6 minutes. For lunch, try a simple egg salad made with Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise, seasoned with mustard, dill, cracked pepper, and a squeeze of lemon. Spoon it over mixed greens or into a whole grain wrap. Hard-boil a batch on Sunday night. Peel them, store them in the refrigerator, and grab 1 or 2 as snacks throughout the week. Sprinkle a little sea salt and smoked paprika on top. Simple, portable, satisfying. Or fold 2 eggs into a vegetable frittata for dinner. Mushrooms, bell peppers, onions, a little goat cheese. Pair it with a side salad. A complete meal for under $3. The key is to listen to your body. If 4 eggs feel like too many at once, split them across meals. 2 at breakfast, 2 folded into dinner. Your body processes protein most efficiently when it is distributed across the day rather than consumed in one large bolus. One more practical note. If you take blood-thinning medications like warfarin, be aware that eggs contain vitamin K, which can interact with your dosage. The amount in eggs is relatively small compared to leafy greens, but consistency matters. Eat roughly the same amount each day so your doctor can calibrate your medication accurately. Do not suddenly add or remove eggs from your routine without mentioning it at your next appointment. So let us bring this all together. When you eat 4 eggs every day, here is what the evidence tells us actually happens inside your body. Your muscles receive 24 grams of the highest quality protein available in whole food form. Your brain gets nearly its full daily requirement of choline, the building block of memory-critical neurotransmitters. Your eyes accumulate lutein and zeaxanthin right where they need them most, at the macula, protecting against the leading cause of age-related blindness. Your HDL cholesterol rises, which is protective. Your blood sugar stays stable through the morning. Your bones receive vitamin D, phosphorus, and vitamin K2. Your appetite quiets down, which reduces overeating later in the day. And your wallet barely notices because eggs remain one of the most affordable, nutrient-dense foods on the planet. For the vast majority of seniors, 4 eggs a day is not reckless. It is strategic. It is a deliberate, evidence-based choice to nourish the systems that aging challenges most: your muscles, your brain, your eyes, your bones, and your metabolic health. Decades of misguided advice taught an entire generation to fear this food, and in doing so, it robbed millions of people of one of nature's most complete nutritional packages. You have the updated information now. What you do with it is your call. If this video gave you a new perspective on eggs, or if it confirmed something you already suspected, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We release new senior health videos every week, covering the topics that matter most to you and your family. Drop a comment below and tell me, how many eggs do you eat right now, and are you going to change that number after watching this? I read every single comment, and I love hearing your stories. Share this video with your spouse, your siblings, your adult children, anyone who still believes eggs are the enemy. They deserve to hear what the science actually says. Take care of yourself. You have earned every good year ahead of you, and feeding your body well is one of the surest ways to make those years count. I will see you in the next one.